that how you're gonna start it?
Do you want me to? Oh, can I be operetta in...
Oh my god, dude, we're starting. We're starting. 3, 2, 1. Okay, hello!
Hey, y'all.
This is the second session that we're doing, so it's still a bit in the works.
It's rough.
But this time we're doing an introduction, so hello.
Hello.
Let's give our names. I'm Apollo.
I am Meatloaf.
And today we'll be reading another installment of, fuck, let me get the page open. Monster High Smut Shots by Ultimate Warrior Fan Forever. We did not clarify who wrote it last time, but this time, and hopefully the rest of the times if we do not forget, we will be sure to mention the creator and also the name of the fic. Actually, all the fics will be listed in the description below, and there will be links, so if you want to read along with us, you can. Anyways, would you like to read the summary?
Oh. Well, this chapter 3, Spectra, Vondergeist, and Invisibility. There's not,
Oh, there's not.
yeah.
There's a disclaimer that says, like, I don't own anything associated with Monster High, yada yada yada.
All of the characters will be 18 years old. Alright.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I guess I start, or what?
I start first.
Wait,
I'm Invisibility, you start first.
yeah. Having to become a gossip columnist was nerve-wracking to the bone. Apparently being a one-ghoul paparazzi in a school for ghouls was tough work. It was always about having to dish the dirt on students' personal lives 24/7. There was no breaks, no time for rest, no nothing. It was all about getting gossip anywhere where she would find it.
Apparently, Spectra Vondergeist was getting tired of it. All she wanted out of this was one break. She didn't have to call... Oh my god, I can't read already. Can we start this over, please?
It's session 1. Okay, anyways, we'll cut it.
I cannot do this.
We'll cut it to here. Cut it to here, hello. Okay, start over.
Apparently Spectra Vondergeist was getting tired of it. All she wanted out of this was one break. She didn't have a time...
What was the silence for?
I'm gonna kill myself!
You're not. You're fine.
I promise I can read.
I know you can read. That's the whole point, is that we mess up and it's funny. Don't be so hard on yourself, homie. It's episode 4?
I'm just mad because I got these brain cells working today and now they're failing me.
They're tired, baby. They're tired.
Oh, God.
Also, happy National Girlfriend Day. Hey. We're fucking single. Not ready to mingle. That was not your cue to mingle, but definitely single.
Apparently, Spectra Vondergeist was getting tired of it. All she wanted out of this was one break. She didn't have to quit or anything, but only one break would make Spectra feel a bit better. Unfortunately, a break would be the only thing she would get, but then she'd have to dish out more dirt on the students, which she was doing, by the way, today. What the fuck is that?
Looking beat and exhausted, Spectra took a seat on his favorite chair. She was so beat, she didn't even want to go through the table like always. At least she went right through the door, considering she was a ghost.
Considering. From there, she scrolled around the phone until... oh my god. Looking at pictures of what the students have been up to today.
Let's see here, Spectra muttered. Frankie's got a zit. Claude and Draculaura confess feelings in front of angry sister. Heath and Abby are on the rocks. I think I got it covered for the day. Just to shake off her... Oh, sorry. Ah.
Oh. Just to shake off her exhaustion, Spectra grabbed a 2-liter bottle of Coca-Cola and poured a glass. Spinning the liquid around, Spectra took a swig and took a deep breath.
My god, the dedication to the Monster High world is unsettling.
Coca-Cola.
Well, at least that helped a bit, she sighed.
From there, she decided to close her eyes and rest for a while. It was what Spectra finally wanted from all this.
But a few minutes after her sleep, someone creaked the door open. Mysteriously, no one was entering. All that was heard was sounds of footsteps approaching the table where Spectra was sleeping on.
She was sleeping on the table.
She lay on it. I mean, you could do things right through her, so I guess it doesn't matter.
Yeah, that's true. As if no one was there, a figure reappeared out of thin air. He was decked in a teal hoodie, teal beanie, blue shorts, and shaggy dark blue hair.
That's what he was wearing. The hair.
He was wearing his hair. It's a wig. As soon as he carefully tapped her in the shoulder.
Yeah! Spectra yelped, leaping out of her seat.
As she leaped, so did the figure, which happened to be fellow Monster High student Invisi.
Oh, crap. Billy said.
That's me!
Oh, well.
Stop speaking.
I am not on it today.
Your 3 brain cells.
I took your 3 brain cells.
Fuck. Oh crap, Billy said, feeling his heart leap out of his chest. I am so sorry about that. I didn't mean to wake you up. Please forgive me. Why are you laughing?
Sorry, I was reading my phone. And, oh, it's okay. You didn't mean to do that, Spectra sighed.
Good. Visibly sighed. Oh, good. Visibly sighed as well. You got a minute?
I was on my break, but I think I can kill time for a little while. Spectra nodded. What do you want?
I really need your help on something, he replied.
Is it about you and Scara? Spectra raised an eyebrow suspiciously. I can tell something's wrong.
So they do acknowledge that he is in fact dating Scara.
You gonna cheat on Scara, my girl, my ghoul?
My clairvoyant ghoul. My ghoul friend.
My best ghoul.
My beastie? Okay, anyway.
Shut your fucking mouth. That one was too much.
I went too far. How on earth did you know about that? Invisibly said, with his both eyeballs popping from his face.
They're gone. I'm a gossip columnist, she replied. I know things.
Suddenly, Spectra got up on the chair and took his hand, leading him to the couch. However, while she wasn't looking, invisibly blushed at the way Spectra held his hand. It was almost so light and fluffy as a feather. After they both sat on the couch, they continued their little conversation.
Okay, Spectra sighed while holding his hand. Tell Miss Spectra what's wrong.
You just read that little part.
After taking in a deep breath, Invisibility told her his problem.
It's because me and Scara aren't getting along with our relationship, he sighed. I accidentally forgot to give her a present for her birthday. When I told her I didn't have enough money, she started snapping and screaming at me. I gotta admit, her screaming hurts like holy hell itself. It was nice when we hooked up, but because of one little thing I forgot, she blames me for ruining her birthday.
Oh, that's terrible, Spectra said, holding his hands tight.
Where are we? Oh.
We are literally one line below that.
Okay, but I literally scrolled. I don't really know where our relationship is headed. Invisibly shook his head. But I got a feeling that she wants to be my enemy much more than my ghoul friend. What am I gonna do?
Oh, God. His little story started reaching over to Spectra's heart. Sure, she was never a clairvoyant like Skara, but she could feel Invisibility's words come to her like a book. Have you ever tried apologizing to her? Spectra replied.
I have, he sighed again, but she doesn't forgive me at all.
Oh, that's horrible, Spectra said, rubbing her hands around his comfortably. I'm certain she'll forgive you sooner or later.
Yeah, well, she doesn't, he grimly replied.
Spectra felt very bad for Invisibility. She felt very bad of what he was going through and all. I mean, that's not how a girlfriend acts. A real girlfriend would forgive and forget things like this, but Skara wasn't the kind of girl for him. You know, Billy, Spectra sighed, scooting a bit closer to him, if I was your girlfriend, I would forgive you for doing something like this. Besides, gifts aren't really that important. The only thing that's really important is having to love somebody that's inside your heart.
Really? He smiled at her.
I believe love is more important than gifts. Spectra smiled back with a little blush. It's just a shame that Skara doesn't understand that. But I do, Billy. I'm certain that you can find someone who's more like you in every way. You're very special to me.
I guess you're right about that. He blushed as well.
I guess you're right about your feelings.
I need to really find someone for me without any help from physics. What? Skara is a little... It says
psychics. It says...
Oh my god.
Literally, this is psychics.
Psychics, not physics.
That's not physics at all.
It's been a rough day. Skara is a little too rough around the edges for me. Maybe it's about time that I find someone who's very gentle and sweet to me. Thanks.
I appreciate it, Spectra replied, feeling her heart pump. What heart? She's a ghost!
Pump. Pump.
This is worse than the last one.
Somehow, the two suddenly realized that they were getting way too close to another. But they didn't seem to mind. After all, Invisibility felt comfortable being around Spectra's sensual touch. Spectra could also say the same thing when it came to his smooth grip.
But something strange happened between the two. Suddenly, both his and her face were slowly getting close to one another. This felt wrong to Spectra, considering she was doing this to somebody's boyfriend. And this also felt wrong to Invisibility, considering that he was already taken by Sarah's screams herself. But he suddenly forgot the problems between him and Skara.
The only thing he wanted to focus on was one ghoul, Spectra Vondergeist.
After staring deep into one another's eyes, the two engaged in a kiss. It started off a bit tender, but soon turned passionate against one another. Invisibility actually felt Spectra's Coca-Cola scented tongue deep inside his mouth. Scented! Which is good since he liked Coca-Cola in the first place. Her kiss was so strong that Spectra landed on top of him, pinning him to the couch. He was enjoying this moment to its very end.
They took separate breaks.
Separate breaks? What the
They took separate... How do you take... Okay, whatever. They took separate breaks from their hot makeout session just to hear both their sweet whispers.
I always wanted you bad. Spectra whispered at him.
Oh, me too. Invisibility whispered back.
They continued their little makeout session at the same time, his hand in a hold of Spectra's firm rump. Dude, she's a ghost. Isn't shit gonna go, like, right through her?
Mm-hmm.
Another blush was formed around the ghostly gossip columnist. She couldn't believe Invisibility was thinking about going too far with this, but Spectra didn't seem to mind. This little makeout moment was making them hot as ever.
As Spectra was still straddling the son of the invisible man on top, she and... What?
Why do we have to mention their parents? Wasn't that, like, last time, like... But it was clear it was, like, Nephra's daughter.
Nephra's her older sister. I'm gonna cry. She undid the chains and strings from her black and purple bustier. busty, whatever. Carefully, she managed to take her, oh my god,
bustier
corset off.
That is not.
God. Same thing. Which showed him her precious C cups. They love C cups. Double C cups.
C cups are the ideal boob.
Thanks. Invisibility let out a stylish smirk. Oh, a stylish smirk. No, enjoying the sight of Spectra's globes.
Dude, no, but C cups are like the ideal boob.
I've been new.
How do you been new? Let's talk about this.
Hold on. Have.
Been have. That's good to reveal to the world.
You're welcome, world.
You're welcome, world. No, but like, it's just enough titty, dude.
It's not too much, not too little.
It's like one handful. Like D's, anything bigger than like a C, you get into like too much titty for one hand territory. And like B cups, you can get your whole ass hand around and have room for like another, but the boobs are too far apart. You can't grab both B's at one time. And then A cups are practically a man. I'm sorry.
Oh, don't call them out. Don't at people.
I had an ex with A cups, dude. Homie, you look like you have pecs. I'm sorry.
You little raisins. Okay, let's not. Let's just move on with this.
And then Spectra wrapped her arms behind her back, feeling Invisibility's rock-hard erection sport from his pants. Knowing this, Spectra decided to have a little fun by undoing his zipper and sliding his pants down his legs. And carefully, Spectra managed to bend her body back, do a handstand, and gently go back down on her stomach.
What the fuck just happened?
She can float. What the fuck?
I fucking hate this. Oh my god.
Gymnastics.
She stared up and gazed at the sight of Invisibility's erection. It was hung hard like a tree, and it was located around 9 inches.
What is with them with C cups and 9 inches? I feel like an English teacher could be like, oh my god, 9 is the number of unity.
9 inches of nerd.
No!
Truthfully, he was a lot big.
A lot big. A lot big much.
He was a lot big much compared to the students at Monster High. Not really, if they're all 9.
That's the average.
And Spectra dug a guy with a whole lot of size.
Wait, wasn't Deuce like 9 feet?
And then he went to 9 inches.
It shrank.
Well, just like fucking Jackson went from 12 back to 9.
Yeah. Be a good boy and stay still. Oh wait. Be a good boy and stay still. Spectra whispered erotically to him.
With Invisibility doing what he was told, he wrapped his arms around his head and went and relaxed while Spectra grabbed onto his hard dick.
Just to tickle him, Spectra started licking up the rim, which sent shudders down his legs. I hate when they say rim. I'm like...
Rim is like your asshole.
What? Where are you going? You're sidetracked. Spectra started looking up the rim, which sent shudders down his legs. Carefully, she inserted her mouth deep into him, and felt a tingling moan.
She put her lips in him.
Into his butthole. And felt a tingling moan. Spectra managed to get all of his inches deep inside her without a single choke. Invisibility took in a laugh, considering how ticklish Spectra's tongue was around the erected cock. Spectra's head kept on bobbing up and down faster, which brought out another moan coming from Billy himself.
Who else would it have come out of?
The adjectives they use in this, dude. Sounds like I'm trying to write an essay.
Oh,
I'm trying to
man. He groaned in pleasure. Oh.
Stop!
You're so much better than Spectra.
Spectra!
Skara.
While Spectra was still sucking him off, her hands got a hold of his balls, literally.
Literally.
To enhance pleasure, she started massaging him around the testicle region. She never knew how fun it was having to rub, stroke, and grope a cute guy's nads. However, doing that resulted in Billy's groin spazzing a lot.
Your nads.
Which would explain why the sound of his moans started increasing. It was basically the most incredible feeling Invisibility had ever felt in quite a while. I can't confirm, but I could probably ask somebody and be like, hey, feel good when your nads are rubbed? And they're probably gonna be like, not really.
Stop.
I
cry.
I don't know, dude. They're just kind of there from what I've heard.
After she successfully sucked him off, Spectra looked up to him, who looked incredibly worn out.
So handsome. Spectra devilishly smiled to him. How was that?
It's awesome. Invisibility smirked and chuckled.
Well, it's about to get even more awesome than you can ever imagine, she whispered. Ah, fuck.
Then show me. Oh, wait. Show me. He whispered right back.
Wanting to show him, Spectra scooted over him and got on top of his lap.
With her rear positioned around his rear
positioning.
With her rear positioning around his erection, Spectra squatted down and let out a squeal. Would he even feel it because she's a ghost?
Would she even be able to see it because he's invisible?
He's not always invisible.
Well... Would we see it inside her because she is also kind of slightly invisible?
No, because only her
Only her outsides are invisible.
No, only her hands and feet are invisible.
Okay.
I don't know how to explain it anyway.
It
gradates out.
We're not gonna argue about Monster High canon right now.
Okay, Spectra squatted down and let out a squeal, having to feel 9 inches of invisibility around her tight pussy. Trapped around both of their groins, Spectra's hips started moving and gyrating slowly, which gave out a tingling sensation around his erection. He never imagined how warm, soft, and tight Spectra was. This sensation felt like if invisibility was somehow baked in a warm toaster oven. Nevertheless, it made him feel good and hot as ever. Yeah. You like rocking my dick back and forth, don't you? He whispered at her.
Yes, Spectra moaned. Just to lead her own, Invisibility's hands got a good hold of her ass and started thrusting vertically. She had to admit that the pain was so excruciating, but it felt good and comfortable. He kept on impaling Spectra tighter and tighter until a tiny inch of pre-cum would leak out of him. To tease and arouse her even more, he kept on smacking her ass, just to feel the soft pillow-y flesh of her rear.
Pillow-y.
With each smack, Spectra's moans increased to the point that if she took in a loud moan, everyone would hear her from outside.
After having her ass roughed up by Invisibility's hardened cock, Spectra forced him to stop.
What's his dick going into?
It just goes from her pussy right into her asshole.
That sounds unsanitary.
Like, there's no walls anymore. It should just go right through.
Stop! Shut your fucking mouth.
Whoa, you were blind. Why did you stop?
Let's switch. Spectra whispered.
She gonna fuck him in the ass?
She's gonna whip out.
Now that's what I'm talking about. He smirked.
Oh my While she was still attached to him, Spectra managed to turn herself in a 180-degree angle.
I hate this bit. From there, she started to gyrate again, riding out his reddened cock in reverse. The sensation between their groins was getting mighty hot than before. To enjoy this ride, Invisibility relaxed with his arms between the back of his head and enjoyed in between the back of his head and enjoyed the ride. The way that a hot and naked Spectra was grinding in his lap actually felt a bit ticklish and a bit arousing. With every bump and every grind, Billy would spasm and moan out of control, even clinging onto the couch itself. Oh! Invisibility moaned. Come on, jump on it.
By his demand, Spectra stopped bumping and grinding for a bit. From there, Spectra started jumping and hopping on his section. To keep with the jumping, Invisibility held onto her hips and forced her to keep hopping. While she was going down on his cock hard, Spectra started teasing herself by rubbing her own clit in excitement. Never before had Spectra felt something like this from any other guy. But to be clear, this was Spectra's first time doing something like this with someone like him. Both Spectra and Invisibility were as horny as ever with all the thrusting and whatnot.
Feeling she had enough jumping for one day, Spectra stopped again. What could this be exactly?
Wait, hold on. Question, how many times a day do you jump? Because for me it's usually 0. I don't have to jump. I don't have to jump. God invented stairs.
How does she even fucking jump if she just floats around everywhere? Like, she never touches the ground.
She just jumps and it's like NASA. She, like, floats away.
Why did you stop? He replied. I was just enjoying myself.
Stopping to take a breath, Spectra whispered down to him. I want you to take me from behind. She pleaded desperately. I need it really bad.
Whatever you say, m'lady.
It looks like it says malady.
Malady. Carefully, Invisibility managed to grab Spectra by gently positioning herself in the doggy-style position. That was quite a position he would imagine to see himself.
That sentence made no sense. But also, did she not just turn 180, like... They went from missionary to reverse cowgirl to... Well, actually, I think she was riding on him, but anyways, they went from front to back. All he has to do is stand the fuck up. I don't understand.
Who knows?
Jump on it. That's what I think of.
You sure you want this? Oh. You sure you want this? He whispered straight into Spectra's ear.
Please, Spectra nodded.
Not having to let her down, Invisibility started thrusting into Spectra immediately. She let out another moan and giggled, feeling all 9 inches inside of her ghostly pale ass. In all accounts, he started slow and easy, taking the time to slide it inside her in a very teasing mood. A blush was formed once again in the face of Spectra. She never knew that Billy was much more of a teaser. She always loved guys that liked to tease a woman now and then, but she was getting a little tired of it now and then. What?
She always loved guys that liked to tease a woman now and then, but she was getting a little tired of it now and then.
She wanted to take him rough and hard as she could ever feel.
Hard, Spectra moaning. Take me hard!
Take
aggressively
me hard.
Take me hard. Aggressively, Invisibility's thrust started to strengthen with velocity. With the touch of his fingers, he glued his hands straight to Spectra's wide, curvy hips. He began on pacing with good speed, lightly yanking her beautiful purple hair while wrecking her ass like an all-out destruction derby. Spectra could feel an ounce of his pre-cum leak around her warm, tight cave. It was almost like if Spectra wanted his entire seed all inside her, at least. But should she risk getting pregnant from the hands of someone who's not feeling much love from his own girlfriend? All in all,
just finish that.
Spectra could hardly care in the least.
However, the increased thrust made Invisibility's cock shake with anticipation. The explosion was now and about to take place. After a few more thrusts, he finally lost it. "Oh, I'm coming," he growled. "I'm coming! Ah!"
One final thrust from invisibility made him come inside the attractive ghost ghoul with an ounce of glory. I need that. Oh my god. I need that on a shirt. An ounce of glory.
New merch.
Okay. Lines of silk began hitting everywhere around Spectra's womb entirely. Every time he came inside her, Spectra would grab onto the couch cushions, clinging on for dear life. He came once. It was so satisfying and so enjoying to see this wonderful experience in her life take place. And it was worth the experience she got. I feel like this is written by, like, a fucking, like, AI, because it has all of the elements of being good writing, and then it just fucking, like, it sounds like...
is not good.
It's just not quite right.
The session between Invisibility and Spectra made them tired and beat as ever. He looked like he was gonna pass out. While Spectra could feel the entire room around her spin like crazy, they never seemed to mind at all.
Invisibility, Spectra said, catching her breath. That was so magical.
I know. He chuckled. That was crazy for my standards. Scara would never let me go to third base before.
But now you have, you naughty boy. Spectra winked at him.
Yeah, I have. Invisibility took in a smirk. Now that you think about it, Now that you think about that, I got a little something to say to Scara myself.
After he finally got off her, Billy went to his eye coffin to text back to his new ex-girlfriend, Scara. Somehow, with an sly smirk, he sent his little message out to her. While he was doing that, Spectra was getting redressed. So, what are you texting her about? Spectra raised an eyebrow.
I'm breaking up with her ass so I can be with you. Invisibility replied. You're way hotter than that screaming bitch combined.
That screaming bitch combined.
Has no other thing to combine her with.
Aw, thank you, Spectra cooed while blushing. That really means a lot to me.
And now, he paused for a while, we wait for a reply.
While a redressed Invisibility wrapped his arm around Spectra, a huge scream broke out!
Do you want to be Scara?
No, you do it.
Oh shit.
The entire scream was so loud that it broke all the windows to the entire school, and it almost busted both the eardrums of Invisibility and Spectra.
I feel
Looks like Scara definitely got his message, and she wasn't taking this shit very well.
I feel like they would have popped the eardrums before they popped the glass.
I feel like, yeah. But also sound travel... let's not get into physics, but also sound travels better through solids, so...
That is true, but then again,
we're not going to argue about the physics of this.
Can, like, break the glass with their voice, so I guess it's okay. Looks like she's taking it quite nicely, Invisibility chuckled to his new lover.
After kissing him right on the cheek, Spectra took in one last smirk and whispered back to him, "Definitely worth the story to me." God, that was bad.
I feel like it was better than the other ones, like, mistakes-wise. There's not as many, but, like, the content was a little shittier.
It's really, like, I feel like this person may not have English as their first language.
Oh.
And not in, like, a bad way, but as in, like, they know a lot of it, and they're doing really great, but they just need a proofread. Just somebody to look over.
Or maybe they're 12.
Well, you're not wrong. They're either from the out of the country or they're 12. And if you're listening to this person, keep writing. Your writing is decent. Maybe not this. Don't keep writing this. But keep writing. Keep it up.
I mean, this is like, what did we say? Like 3 or 4 years worth of writing?
Yeah, maybe it gets better. Maybe it does
well,
not.
I mean, like I said in this one, like, there already is a slight improvement from the last two, but, like, you know.
Yeah. I don't know. Anyways, I guess this chapter's over, so you'll have to catch us again a different day to see the next chapter. We're gonna continue reading this all the way to the end, but if it updates at any point, after we stop reading it, chances are we're not going to revisit it unless you guys are like, God, Monster High smut shots, I really want that to come back.
Alright.
Anyways, so, you can find us at eroticapodcast@gmail.com. You can find us on Twitter at ESEpodcast with 2 T's. And our Instagram is at ESEpodcast. Feel free to send us fanfictions. Feel free to yell at us for making fun of bad fanfictions. Feel free to not listen to this anymore, I suppose. Or you could do all of none of that and share it with people and really get us to the listeners.
To the listeners.
I'm losing brain cells as we do this, dude. Maybe we should read a good fanfictions.
Well, is there any actual good fanfics?
There are a lot of good ones. We just chose not to read them.
You let me pick. That's why we're not reading a good one.
Okay. Anyways. Alright. Bye. Thanks for listening. Bye.
Bye, y'all.
Stop.